2 strikes. Cheer on the Cardinals. Bottom of the 5th.
It is 10:30. I have to get up early for work, so right now I really need to stop reading and go to bed. I wish I could tell you that I've been reading all day and I've accomplished so much, but I was very distracted all day by a baseball game and 2 soccer games and my phone, and I'm only just now reading like a mad woman. And of course, the minute I'm really starting to get into my book, it's time for bed. I know that I can definitely finish this tomorrow, but I'm upset because I could have definitely finished it today. I had all day. Anyways, I'll give you an official page update and all that tomorrow when I get home. Real quick, before I forget, I'd like to welcome you to my 4th and final vlog for the Biblio Games Summer 2019. This is also the week of Summerathon. The first day was the last day of my week 3 vlog, and so I have 6 more days left. It is 7:44 and I am just about to head out the door to work. I had a really hard time sleeping last night. I kept tossing and turning for hours upon hours. I was even up as early as 5:45 this morning. I have a migraine and I think it's because of that. I probably could have gone to bed earlier and maybe this wouldn't have been so bad, but it is what it is. I will see you later today for hopefully a better reading update than I've had in the past 2 days. Hopefully I can finish a book today because I don't really have a choice if I want to finish 7 books in 7 days for Summerathon. I just walked in the door from work. I think it's about 2 o'clock. I am going to eat my lunch/dinner from El Pollo Loco and finish up Key Lime Pie Murder because I only have like 130 pages left, somewhere around there. And then I need to work on my anthology because I didn't read my stories yesterday, so if I can, I should try and read 4 today. If not, at least like 2 to 3. Also, I need to start a 3rd book, so I'll let you know when I have that chosen. It is 12:10 a.m., so I figured I would give you an update on how my weekend of reading went. On June 22nd, I read 120 pages. Yesterday, Sunday, I read 352 pages, and I finished Key Lime Pie Murder, my first book for Summerathon. That means I can check off the reading prompt, reading a book with food on the cover. Only 6 more to go. So I finished this book and I started A Puzzle to Die On by Parnell Hall. This is part of the Puzzle Lady series. I made it to chapter 36, page 214. I'm tired and I should go to bed, but I'm actually really enjoying this and really getting into it. I'd like to get to a point where I only have 100 more pages left. That way when I wake up, I have a good chance of flying through the end. So I might do that before bed. Unfortunately, my anthology did not get any attention. So tomorrow, after I finish this, I'm hoping to pay attention to this one. I need to catch up so I can keep up with my 2 stories a day. Otherwise, I'm going to keep getting behind and never catch up. It is 2 a.m. and I finished A Puzzle to Die On. I'm too tired to say anymore right now, but I just need you to know that I stayed up to finish the book. Which probably wasn't smart, but I did it anyway, and now I'm actually going to bed, so good night. It is 12:52. I definitely slept in this morning because I was up till 2 a.m. I haven't done that much reading, but I did start Meddling Kids by Edgar Quintero. I can only use 1 audiobook for Summerathon because I need my other 2 script audiobooks for the last 2 Biblio Games challenges. So I'm using it on this book and I'm reading through it at the same time as listening because I've sped it up in hopes that I can get through it faster. The best way for me to actually absorb what I'm reading is if the sped up audiobook is partnered with the physical book. So that's what I will be doing until I have to go to work. Sadly, I have the night shift tonight. I don't work tomorrow, so maybe I'll stay up a little late and read, but I don't know, I probably should go to bed. It is 10:55 and I am about to settle in and finish up my book. I ended up getting so much read before work. I think I'm less than 100 pages away from the ending, so I'm gonna fly through the end and start another book before I hit the hay tonight. Also, I want to make one correction. I think I said that I'm trying to finish 7 books in a week, which is not true. There are 6 prompts that I'm trying to accomplish, so I'm only trying to read 6 books in a week. It is 1:30 a.m. and I'm about to go to bed. I'm just finishing up a chapter in my latest book, A Demon's Summer by G.M. Hallier. I did finish Meddling Kids, but I think I'll tell you about it tomorrow because I am too tired to form sentences with words right now. It is noon, and I am putting aside Demon Summer for now, which I haven't even read today anyways, and focusing on a new prompt. This is actually for both Summerathon and Biblio games. For Summerathon, the prompt is to read a book while drinking one of your favorite summer drinks. I got a refresher from Starbucks. This is the mango dragon fruit flavor. This is one of my new favorites. It just came out last year. For the book, I am going to be reading this Poseidon graphic novel by George O'Connor. For Biblio games, there's a prompt to read a format you don't typically read. I chose graphic novel. I chose Poseidon for Summerathon because of the obvious water themes, but I would actually like to read all 7 graphic novels in this series, so I'm going to sit here with my drink and my late breakfast / snack and dive right in. I think I'm going to go in order, so I will be starting with Zeus. I just finished Zeus, the first graphic novel, and I wanted to point out a couple of cool things at the end. The typical author's notes gives some background on how this series came to be. There's actually more than 7. There's 11. I don't know if they're all out yet, but that's how many are in this. I wish they were all on script because I would read all of them today. I really liked the first one, and I think I'm going to buy all of them in physical copy. It's not all perfect. He says in here that some characters are condensed and some creative liberties were taken, but overall it's a really great way to learn about Greek mythology. Also at the end is these Greek notes, a bit more information on things you might not know, things that were talked about in the story but not elaborated on, which I think is really cool. And now it's time to move on to the next one, which according to Goodreads is Athena. There she is. Here we go. According to George O'Connor's website, there's going to be a 12th graphic novel, so I'm going to wait for that one to come out before I look for all of them because there might be a box set. It is 12:20 and I am sitting here updating both my reading journal and my Twitter on all of my reading progress. Here are my pages. I don't know if I've updated you. Day 24, I read 456 pages and finished 2 books. First, And a Puzzle to Die On by Parnell Hall. This is part of the Puzzle Lady series, which is about Cora. She is the face of a local puzzle, and everyone calls her the Puzzle Lady because she looks like a sweet grandma, but in reality, she is not. She's kind of, for lack of a better word, an irreverent character. She struggles with both smoking and alcohol, and she's just all over the place. It's her niece Sherry that actually makes the puzzles. Cora doesn't like puzzles. She is just the face, but only those two know that secret. No one else does. Cora always finds herself in the middle of a mystery that at some point involves a puzzle, and sometimes Sherry's there to help her and sometimes she's not. So sometimes she has to fake it till she makes it, and it's always a hilarious ride. Honestly, Cora is not a likable character. She gets on my nerves a lot, but I still always fly through these books and I love them anyways. Next up, I finished Meddling Kids by Edgar Quintero. This book is inspired by the Mystery Inc. gang, otherwise known as Scooby-Doo, Shaggy, his owner, Fred, Daphne, and Velma. This is about a group of kids in, I want to say, the 70s that solve a mystery. For 13 years, it haunts them, even though it seems like the mystery is over and done with. All of them really struggle mentally. Finally, through a series of events, they are brought together to revisit that mystery and solve it again because they don't believe that the culprit who was caught was actually the culprit. Soon enough, they discover that this mystery is more than just a person in a mask. It might even be something beyond the boundaries of reality. This book is way more than I expected, even though there's a little more cursing than I would have liked. I flew through this in one day, and I would highly recommend it if an adult interpretation of the Scooby-Doo gang is something that sounds right up your alley. Real quick, let me go back over the reading prompts that I have accomplished. So, as we already know, Key Lime Pie Murder had food on the cover, and A Puzzle to Die On was my choice for a beach read because I am always in the mood for a good mystery, but cozy mysteries are especially my fun choice for a day at the beach because they're usually not that gritty or gory, and I don't have to think too much. I can just enjoy the ride. Sunrise colors on the cover, that would be Meddling Kids. It's a bit more abstract, a very neon sunrise, but you still have the orange and the pink, and it definitely works because I tweeted about it today and the Summerathon count gave me a thumbs up, so that's good enough for me. 3 books down and moving into what I worked on today, I finished 7 graphic novels for a total of 560 pages. We have Zeus, Athena, Hera, Hades, Poseidon, Aphrodite, and Ares. These are all by George O'Connor. Obviously, he can't cover everything, but these are so much fun for short, concise introductions to each of these characters. And not just them, you learn about a ton of other characters through all kinds of different stories. He's used a lot of different sources and interpretations of mythology, as well as put his own mark here and there and taken a bit of artistic license, but for the most part, it seems pretty accurate, and he's very open about that in his author notes, as well as his Greek notes. Honestly, I don't even know what was my favorite part, the graphic novels themselves or the Greek notes at the end, where he goes into a little bit more detail about each page and panel. As I said, he can't get into everything, so the Greek notes give him an opportunity to break things down a little little more, and I spent time going through each and every note. It was so much fun. Let me show you an example of what the Greek notes look like. So here are his Greek notes. And then as you can see, it goes by page and panel and just gives you a little more story and detail. I just put a check mark next to drink your favorite summer drink while reading. That leaves me with 2 more books, one of which I've already started. I'm only a chapter in. I didn't get to it today just because my extra research on Greek mythology added some extra hours to my reading time, but I will be focusing on this all day tomorrow. I'd like to try and finish it in one day if I can go to bed right now and get up at a decent time. If I can finish this tomorrow, I have the last day of the readathon to focus on Resorting to Murder, which is the anthology that I promised to keep up with every day of the readathon, and I didn't, because when have I ever been able to keep a promise or stick to a plan?
Looks like Arsenal's going to set up on the right, and they'll push more ground, a little more central.
It is 11 o'clock and I am setting up to go read in my brother's room, hoping a change of scenery will help me finish my book. Sorry about yesterday. I just had a really bad day. I was not feeling particularly confident enough to film my face, and I just had a really bad, slumpy day. I don't know, I'm just struggling in life overall, and it's cutting into my reading because I can't focus. By 5 p.m., I had barely passed the 100-page mark. And I had already read 20 to 25 pages the night before, I think. Finally, last night, after the soccer game, I read in my room for a bit, got in the bath, read in there, got back out and did a lot more reading. I stayed up till 2 a.m., which I shouldn't have done. But I just felt so bad about the day I had, and I just really wanted to get some good reading done. So that is what I did. I ended up on page 240, which means I have a little over 100 pages to finish right now. I don't know if I'm gonna finish my 6th book for Summerathon, which is Resorting to Murder. I'm just not gonna push myself because these readathons are supposed to be fun, and I feel like I'm putting extra pressure on myself and making it less fun. So I'm just not even gonna think about it. I'm just gonna finish the book I'm on and get as far as I can in this book. If I don't finish, it is fine. It is not the end of the world. It is 3:30 and I'm still not done with my book because I can't focus. But I do have Starbucks now. I didn't get coffee, but I did get a refresher. Same one as the other day, mango dragon fruit, and my protein box. So I'm gonna sit here and finish, and then I have a change of plans to share with you. Basically, it will help me complete my prompts for Summerathon without putting too much stress on myself. And I think I can also get to bed at a decent time tonight. All will be revealed as soon as I can finish this book.
4. Bell bottoms will go in and out of style every few years for the rest of your life. This is a bit off topic, but just another thing I keep meaning to tell you. They'll change them just enough to make you think you need new ones. You do not. Keep the ones you already have.
It is 12:30 and I'm about to hit the hay. I just wanted to give you a reading update because I did finish A Demon Summer, and I did pick up and finish a 6th book and complete my Summerathon challenges before midnight. How did I do that? Because by the time I finished this book, there was definitely not enough time to finish that anthology that I kept putting off. Let me tell you what I did. I looked at the remaining reading prompt, which was reading a book with traveling, I looked at the books I had available on Scribd, and I just so happened to have this book, which is a Nancy Drew Hardy Boys super mystery, books that I loved in my teenhood. This is Gold Medal Murder. In this book, Nancy, George, and Bess travel to LA to help out a friend of theirs who is competing in the Olympics. They're there to try and solve the mystery of who is threatening her. What they don't know is that the Hardy Boys, brothers Frank and Joe, are also in LA. They are protecting a swimmer who is also being threatened. The swimmer the boys are protecting is Scott. Scott is dating Lexi, a fencer who is the friend Nancy, Bess, and George are protecting. And of course that means that at some point all 5 of them run into each other and they team up to solve the mystery of who is terrorizing these 2 athletes. That completes my Summerathon checklist. So let's go over everything, shall we? I had 1 perfect book for each category, but just to make sure, I put each book I read that could fit into that category. Number 1 takes place in summertime. A Demon Summer, Gold Medal Murder, Key Lime Pie Murder. I read 7 of the Olympians' graphic novels. As far as I know, none of them specifically take place in summertime because they're about Greek mythology, but there is talk about the different seasons. So I imagine that summer is hinted at somewhere in there, possibly. I don't know. I just added it in there because the seasons are discussed. I have 3 other books that definitely take place in summer, so that is a green check mark. Moving on to a beach read. I like something easy at the beach because I'm easily distracted. The cozy mysteries like A Demon Summer, Key Lime Pie Murder, the graphic novels I would love on the beach. Actually, all the books I read during this readathon were mysteries, so technically they all fit. Green check mark. Sunrise colors on the cover. So my initial book for this was Meddling Kids, which I showed you, has the neon colors of a sunrise minus the purple. Gold Medal Murder, as you can see, also has the orange and the yellow, and then there's a little bit of, not really purple, kind of maroon, but there is still yellow and orange. And then I also included the Aries graphic novel because it definitely has sunrise colors on it. See that? Even looks like a sunrise. Green check mark. Moving on to food on the cover, and a puzzle to die on has a cupcake on the cover. Aphrodite has, what is she holding? I think she's holding an apple. The Hades cover has a pomegranate, which is held by Persephone. And then Key Lime Pie Murder has key lime pie on the cover. Green check mark. Next prompt. Book with traveling. In A Demon Summer, Father Max Tudor travels to an outside abbey from his own village, Nether Monkslip. And A Puzzle to Die On doesn't necessarily have traveling in it. I only included it because Cora and her niece Sherry do leave their city to do some sleuthing once or twice. So technically there is car travel. Gold Medal Murder, all the detectives travel to LA for the Summer Olympics. In Meddling Kids, 4 kids from a former detective club travel back to Oregon to revisit one of their old mysteries. In the Olympians graphic novels, there is some traveling involved. For example, it talks about Heracles or Hercules and his 10 labors, which involve him traveling to different places and fighting different monsters and taking on dangerous tasks. Green check mark, and we're at the very end. Drink a favorite summer drink while reading. I chose a Starbucks refresher. I read the Olympians graphic novels while sipping on my refresher. And then today, while I was finishing up A Demon Summer, I also had a refresher in my hand. Green check mark, and that completes Summerathon 2019. I didn't really talk much about A Demon Summer. This book is part of the Max Tudor Mysteries. It's about Father Max Tudor. He is a priest, a clergyman in the little English village of Nether Monkslip. The setting is adorable. I love the world and all the quirky characters that come with village life. In this particular book, it is obviously summertime, and he is asked by DCI Cotton, who's gotten to know him through the previous mysteries he solved, to take on a case involving someone who was poisoned. The poison came from a fruitcake that was gifted to this man, the victim, who is a well-known, I guess, millionaire. He's pretty rich. He's, what is he, an earl? This fruitcake was left in his room while he was staying at a well-known abbey. They are known for their fruitcakes and a bunch of other handmade goodies. He took it home. Months later, he ate it, and he got really sick and got really mad and wanted the crime solved. Max Tudor gets there, and he tries to solve it along with another mystery that his bishop has called upon him to solve. It involves money issues at the abbey. Money has been raised for a new guest house, but it does not appear that the money is being used where it's supposed to be used. If you know anything about nuns and their life, they're not big fans of the outside world, so being investigated like that is definitely a nuisance, and it's hard to get information. But of course, former MI5 agent Max Tudor comes through. I can't recommend this series enough if you're into cozy mysteries, especially ones that take place in small villages. I can't believe that I've been flying through this series. I actually only have 2 books left on my shelf, and then I need to buy the newest book. And then I'll be done with the series, at least for right now, unless the author writes another one. Sorry I cut off last night. My last memory card got filled up, and I didn't empty it until just now. I'm headed out the door to work, but I am working on 2 books, and once I get home, I will give you a reading update. It is 9:15. I just got home from work. Had to make a pit stop at Starbucks, of course. I'm still listening to the Lauren Graham audiobook. I think I showed you in a clip what I was listening to. I don't know if I really talked about it. I'm listening to Lauren Graham's book, Talking as Fast as I Can. That is for the Biblio Games prompt, a book with comedy. And then there is a reading prompt to read Trashy YA, which is an interesting prompt because what might be trashy to some people is not trashy to other people. The obvious answers are things like Twilight, Vampire Academy, stuff like that, which I don't have access to on Script. I had A Court of Thorns and Roses picked out, and even though Script says it's unlimited, there's usually like access to 3 popular books. I listened to 2 and I got to my 3rd and it said it wasn't available until July 21st. I only listened to 2. How is that possible? I don't know if it was one of the ebooks I read, maybe, but yeah, I was pissed. I was not happy. So I had to change my books last minute, and I went with Casey West. I don't know if that's considered trashy YA, but she writes fluffy contemporary romance, so it's gonna have to work because it's one of the only things I have access to. I'm trying to read, and there are loud fireworks going off. Really quick update before bed. On Friday night, I did finish my Lauren Graham ebook, and then Saturday night, I did finish my Casey West ebook. Now it's past midnight, so it's the last day of the Biblio Games. I have another book in progress. I've been reading In the Shadow of Gotham. I'm only 2 chapters in, and I've actually previously read like 90 pages, but I'm rereading it, so it counts towards the readathon. Once I get past that point, I can really get going. Went to church this morning, got Starbucks, ate some steaks with my family, and now I'm in bed trying to finish another book before Biblio Games ends at midnight. Stay tuned for an update because right now I haven't read a lot because I can't concentrate. I'm only on page 60 of 369 pages. Can I finish this before midnight? Oh, we'll see. It is 8 o'clock and I wanted to give you an update. I don't think I'm gonna finish this book before midnight. I am having a hard time focusing, and I have a really bad headache and neck ache. I'm doing the best I can, but I'm not gonna push myself because I'm tired and I don't feel good, and it's just not worth it at this point. I've done so much reading. Let's see, I'm on page 109, so maybe I can reach the halfway point before midnight or a little over the halfway point, but I'm not gonna push myself to finish. It is 12:50 a.m. I did stop reading before midnight, but it took me this long to update my reading journal and write all my update tweets. Now I'm ready to share with you how I did for the Biblio Games Summer 2019. First of all, update on this book. I didn't finish, but I did make it to page 237. Let's take this all the way back to the beginning, shall we? So here's the start of the Biblio Games. Day 1, Day 2, Day 3, not fantastic. Day 4, finally finished a book on Day 5, actually 2 of them, Angel's Den and Pagan Spring. Day 6, nothing. Day 7, I finished a book and completed a challenge which gave me 50 bonus pages. My week 1 totals were 880 pages, 930 plus 50 bonus pages, 3 books, 1 challenge. Moving on to week 2, little better reading, much more consistent. Finally finished a book on day 13. This was actually the week that I decided to finish the Harry Potter series. So I was focusing more on big books and page numbers rather than the number of books. So that's why I didn't finish a book until day 6 of that week, Order of the Phoenix. And then I finished Little Women on day 7 of week 2. 1,751 pages, 2 books, 0 challenges. Moving into week 3, after a very strong week 2, I kept up consistency pretty well. Day 18, I finished Half-Blood Prince. Day 19, I read 3 by Ted Dekker, completed the Alter Ego Challenge. This was supposed to be a book picked by a member of another team, which was Adrian from @FullTimeReads on Twitter. The next day, I finished Deathly Hallows, which means I officially read the Harry Potter series for the first time in my life at the age of 25. Week 3 totals: 1,859 pages, 1,909 plus the bonus pages, 3 books, and 1 challenge. And before I forget, the Sittaford mystery on week 1 was for the Lunch Challenge, book with a satisfying ending. Moving into the final week of the readathon, I actually set a bit of a standard for myself because after week 1, I had 2 weeks where I read over 1,000 pages. This week was actually another readathon, Summerathon. This was day 1. Didn't finish any books, but I did read some pages. Day 2, Summerathon. Day 3 of Summerathon, I finished Key Lime Pie Murder. Day 4, I finished And a Puzzle to Die On and Meddling Kids. Day 5, I finished 7 of the Olympians graphic novels. This was also for my gym challenge for the Biblio Games, which is a format I don't usually read, graphic novels, but I'm trying to read more of them because I really enjoy them. This is day 6, and then the 7th and final day of Summerathon, I finished 2 books, Demon Summer and Gold Medal Murder, which means I completed my TBR of 6 books. I already shared this, but just in case you want another look, the challenges were a book that takes place in summer, a beach read, sunrise colors on the cover, food on the cover, a book with traveling, and reading while drinking a favorite summer drink. Moving into the last few days of the Biblio Games, day 28, I finished the Talking as Fast as I Can audiobook. This is authored by Lauren Graham. This completed my Witty Banter 101 challenge, a book with comedy. This book confirmed my suspicions that Lauren Graham is in fact the same exact person as Lorelai Gilmore. week 4 totals, 2,186 pages, 2,286 plus the 100 bonus pages from the 2 challenges I completed, and 13 books. We only have 2 days left. Day 29, I finished Love, Life, and the List by Casey West. This book completed my Moral Ambiguity challenge, which was trashy YA. Now, this is nothing personal against the book. I had a different book in mind. The first things that came to mind were books like Twilight and Vampire Academy, but those were not available to me on Scribd, and I didn't have money to buy new books. So, I was going to read A Court of Thorns and Roses, but Scribd, surprise, surprise, was mean to me and would not let me listen to a third audiobook this month. So I had to substitute this Casey West ebook. I looked it up on the internet and I saw Casey West's books in the same conversations as trashy YA. So those aren't my words, but it has been said. So hopefully it counts. I think it counts. I don't know. I don't like to call anything trashy. Last but not least, we have yesterday, Sunday, June 30th. I read 235 pages. I was reading this book, In the Shadow of Gotham. I was hoping to finish it, but I didn't. And that's okay because I didn't feel good today and I wasn't going to push myself. I wanted to end the readathon on a positive note, which brings us to our totals. I started this with my last readathon. Here we go. 1 Sky High readathon, 30 days, 1 Team Antihero, 1 audiobook, 4 ebooks, 7 graphic novels, 7 physical books, 5 hardcover, 2 softcover, 2 audiobooks plus hardcover, 1 ebook plus hardcover, 5 challenges, 250 bonus pages, 7,212 pages, 7,462 plus bonus, and 22 books. That pretty much wraps up the Biblio Games Summer 2019. This is probably the best reading month I've had in my entire life, and I'm not even exaggerating. I cannot even believe the numbers. I am so proud of myself. I really wanted to close out this vlog by watching Sky High, but I don't own it, and I don't think it's available for free on any streaming services. So I'm going to have to find a summer movie that would be appropriate to end this summer readathon vlog.
Come on, Lilo, the social work is gonna be here any minute.
Summerathon.